Howdy, Larkin Rose here. I have some news you might not like if you're a pro-freedom person. If we want to win against statism and authoritarianism, we need a significant percentage of normal people to understand that authoritarian power is illegitimate. It is not enough to have our little band of weirdos who likes to think about things and philosophize things sitting in a corner whining about how illegitimate it all is. That's not going to fix anything. And I know a lot of you have the attitude of, well, the normal people, they're either too stupid or nothing's going to make them listen, or it's totally hopeless. Like, we should just run off and make our little enclave and try to hide from the state. That's not at all going to work. And the good news is, if you think that the general public, all those normal people out there, are incapable of understanding and embracing the concepts of non-aggression and self-ownership, you're totally freaking wrong. Now, I understand why a lot of people think that, because they learn the principles and they understand them and they know how to explain them, and they go out to people and they explain them and it doesn't work. The people don't listen, the people don't care, the people don't pay attention. And so a lot of voluntarists decide, well, it's impossible to get through to them. No, it isn't. But you have to be able and willing to look at yourself and the approach you're taking, because if you think that just logically explaining something that goes against a lifetime of indoctrination, if you think that's just going to fix it and make people go, oh, okay, you're right, never mind, then you don't understand how human psychology works. Down at Anarchapulco, I just did a little seminar called Making Anarchy Mainstream. And as the title implies, the purpose is to teach people how to make the world anarchist and voluntarist. And yes, that is absolutely going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And the sooner it happens, the less horrible injustice and suffering is going to occur in the meantime, which is why I'd like it to happen as soon as possible. And so I made this seminar. The thing is, when I was down there, it started a little bit late and I was recovering from sleep deprivation. It was sort of short, and I was going to just record it and then put it online. But I decided, nah, I'm not even going to record it. I'm going to come back, rewrite it, and add to it, expand on a little bit, and then make it an online thing. So I'm here to tell you that in 2 weeks, I'm going to publicly release the online version. I think it'll be about 3 hours when it's done. It's 3 different parts. I'm going to release that. Anybody who's a subscriber to the Rose channel, which is therosechannel.com, is going to get it for free as part of their subscription as soon as it's out. The people who were actually at the seminar I did at Anarchapulco, I'm going to give it to them too. It's just going to be a download, or 3 downloads for the 3 different parts, like about an hour each, I think. For everybody else, here's what I'm doing. Like I said, in 2 weeks, it's going to come out and go public. Anybody who wants to pre-order now, they can do it for $40 up until noon tomorrow, the 1st, March 1st. So you have until noon tomorrow. All you have to do is give me an email address, because then when it's out, I will send you the link to download the whole thing. And then you can have it on your own computer and watch it whenever you want, as many times as you want. So it's going to be $40 till then. It'll be $50 after that, after the 1st. So, and then, or I may make it $45 after the 1st. And then by the time it's out, then it'll be $50. So it'll be out in 2 weeks. But if you want to pre-order yours and save $10 or 20%, woot woot, then do that. And I'll describe how in the description below. But I think it's a hugely important thing, because we focus so much on the philosophy and the principles, and we nitpick on all these things, which is fine and dandy. If we don't know how to translate that into normal people speak, and we don't know how to get normal people to give up their mental change, to give up their belief in authoritarian, the right to rule, then we lose. Because if the vast majority of people still believe that lie, they're going to be cheering for the war machine and the oppression and the collectivist lunacy. We need them on our sides. And I know a lot of you kind of resent that. I kind of resent that. I resent the fact that in order to be free, I have to get a bunch of people who don't even like to think about these things and who never do. I have to get them on my side so they stop cheering for the giant monstrosity that is robbing not only me, but them and everybody they know. But yes, it can be done. And if you say, well, I've tried everything, no, you haven't. I guarantee you haven't. Now, this seminar sort of dovetails with our longer seminar, Candles in the Dark, which is how to talk to people about statism, how to talk to normal people in a way that doesn't trigger them and freak them out and stuff. But making anarchy mainstream is broken into 3 parts. It's basically, I summarize it as why message, what message, and how message. The first part, why message, is basically, is there even a point to trying? Is there a reason to think that we could possibly do that? I mean, statism's been around kind of forever. So what on earth makes me think we could possibly actually change enough minds of humanity to fundamentally shift the direction of human society? Well, the first part of it tells exactly why that is going to happen, not just as a possibility, but it's an absolute inevitability. The second version, the second part, what message, is about what we need to actually focus on when talking to the world, because there's 80 million different topics and theories and this and that and the other thing that pro-freedom people love to talk about, and most of it just creates noise that isn't doing any good and noise that nobody wants to pay attention to anyway, even if it's true, even if it's totally true stuff and valid stuff and things that I think are important to think about and talk about. We need to focus our message such that it's the message most likely to break humanity out of the slavery mindset, out of authoritarianism. And then the last part, the what message or how message, the way we convey things to other human beings has about 1% to do with logic and philosophy and 99% to do with human psychology and all the ways in which human beings are not all that rational, and what they believe and what they conclude and what they're comfortable with and what they're able to question has way more to do with silly, irrational, psychological things that you need to know how to get around and how to manage if you're going to get through to people. Has way more to do with that than just the process of logically explaining, I own myself. Government doesn't own me, therefore that, the things we all understand and know how to explain, and then we get frustrated because we try to explain it to normal people and we get these, what about marauds, or we need someone in charge. We get all these weird responses, and if you don't understand why people are doing that, you don't understand the psychology of what is making their brain short circuit, then you also don't understand how to get past that and have normal people understand this. There is nobody who's too stupid to understand voluntarism. That's, I understand why some people say that, but it's not true of anybody. This isn't some massively sophisticated, complicated thing we need people to understand. It's literally don't attack people and don't ask other people to attack people on your behalf. That's literally the entire thing. Statism falls when people grasp that. And it seems like, well, can't we just tell them that? Don't attack people and don't ask other people to attack people? You can tell them that and they're not going to hear it. They're not going to know what you mean. Unless you actually understand the psychology involved and the way people think and the way you can invite them to think in a different direction, not bludgeoning them over the head in evangelical mode and trying to preach at them, because as most of you may have noticed, that doesn't work. Even when you're totally right, even when you're totally logical, even when what you say makes perfect sense, still doesn't stinking work. If you want to learn what works and will actually fix the world to a large extent, will free humanity from this insane lie, then check out the seminar, Making Anarchy Mainstream. And again, if you pre-order now, it's $40. By the time it's out, it'll be $50. So the description below says how to do that, and I'm going to get back to work on it. Yeehaw.